Rolling.
Today's episode brought to you by my mason jar full of coffee. That's right, everybody. Caffeine and me, we're best friends. All right, hold on.
How is caffeine unhealthy? Let me count the ways.
Not
I'm
for
just
me.
kidding.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Coach's Kitchen. You remember Coach Kristen.
Hey.
It is me, Coach Julia. And what we have for you today is something on the topic of burnout. So if we said burnout and that caused a little bit of a in your gut, well then we have 2 recipes for energizing energy bites that are going to help keep that gut nice and soothed. So when we were talking about what we wanted to have as our first episode, we realized we would be filming this in the holiday season. Also, in my realm as a career coach, there's a lot going on with the career market right now. And that can cause a lot of stress, it can cause a lot of anxiety, but a lot of it can cause burnout. We're towards the end of the year now, so everybody's trying to jam everything in on a deadline, regardless of where you're at, whether it's with shopping, family, gatherings, your job, looking for a job. So we wanted to be able to share some recipes and some tips with you today to help you avoid so much burnout. We're not going to take it away completely, but at least we'll be able to help with just a little bit of that. So, Coach Kristen, what have we got today?
Yes, Coach Julia. Well, today we've got a couple of really fun recipes for energy bites, protein bites. They're in that genre. So what I love about these recipes, they are simple, clean ingredients, and you can make them quickly, keep them in the fridge, keep them in the freezer. And instead of relying on pre-made, packaged, highly processed protein balls or bites and granola bars and all of those kinds of things, what this does is gives you sustained energy with pure clean ingredients minus a lot of the garbage that some of those processed bars and products have in them.
Super cost effective too, right?
Super cost effective.
Yeah, because most of the granola bars out there are full of sugars and everything, and they cost quite a bit. That's money saving tips too.
Super cost effective.
Is there anything we can't do on this episode?
We can do it all. We can mitigate burnout through energy bites.
Yeah!
So let's get started on the first recipe. What I like about this one is it utilizes chickpeas, almond butter, protein powder. So we've got some really great forms of energy in these bites. So we're going to start with a can of chickpeas, drained, and I like to dry them out a little bit. I let them rest on a paper towel for just a couple of minutes. Thank you. Next, you're getting the stray pea. Then we got a half a cup of almond butter. And don't worry so much about following along. We're always going to post these recipes for you, so you can always refer to them. I like a good, high quality almond butter, and this one is organic. It does not have any extra crappy oils in it. It's just basically almonds and a little bit of salt.
Good times.
Good times. I have here 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. That is our only sweetener. Other than, there's a touch of stevia in my chosen protein powder. So I like whey protein. I tolerate dairy fine. So whey protein powder isolate is extremely bioavailable and easily digested. However, if you prefer a vegan powder, then you could use a vegan protein powder. Not a problem. You could use collagen powder if you wanted to. You could use hemp powder if you wanted to. So anything comparable is just great.
Cool.
I've got a tablespoon of flax and I've got a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. You could add more cinnamon if you want to. For me, a half a teaspoon is enough. Other people might like up to a teaspoon if that works for you. I like a
bunch of cinnamon in mine.
Then you would lean more towards a teaspoon.
Absolutely.
So this puppy makes a lot of noise. So while I blend this, I'm going to, we're going to cut out and then we're going to come back when we got this really nice dough ball formed.
So we're going to do another energy bite recipe that's going to feature oats, crunchy peanut butter, a little bit of vanilla, some coconut, and a whole lot of love.
A whole lot of love.
A whole lot of love.
Aww.
Okay.
In go the oats.
In go the oats. So we have 1 cup of old-fashioned oats mixed with a half a cup of ground flaxseed, we're going to put in 2/3 of a cup of shredded coconut.
That's unsweetened shredded coconut, by the way.
Definitely, yeah. Unsweetened shredded coconut, that's exactly what you want. You do not want any pre-sweetened shredded coconut. It's really going to ruin your energy bites. And we also have a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm going to eyeball it. Vanilla extract does have a small amount of alcohol in it. So if there's a sensitivity, or if you're maybe making this for kids on their way out the door, leave the vanilla out. That's perfectly fine. Vanilla doesn't have to go in everything.
You could probably, if you really wanted to go crazy and get real vanilla beans, you could add some vanilla
beans too, absolutely. Or any kind of flavoring that you happen to like. Cinnamon would be great in this.
Yep.
Anything would be great in this. Or if you're a baker, if you have a certain extract that you love, quite honestly, an orange extract would be amazing in these.
Yeah, it would be.
So yeah, there's a bunch of different things that you can do here. We also have a 1/2 cup of nut butter. So that's any butter of your choice. In our previous recipe, we used almond butter. I'm going to use crunchy peanut butter here, but you could use anything you wanted. Tahini would be fantastic, which is ground sesame seeds. Sunflower butter, if you needed to keep this nut free, it would be amazing. And here,
cashew butter.
Cashew butter is one of my
butters,
favorites. Yes. All right, so crunchy peanut butter is going to give it a little bit of texture. And because the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup, I actually have a 1/4 cup measure here. And here's why. Sometimes you're looking around in your kitchen and you can't find the 1/2 cup measure. Rather than create more stress and create more burnout, just get a 1/4 cup measure. 2 1/4 cup measures equal 1/2 of a cup. So it's completely customizable. There's no problem here.
Yeah, and I would also add, when it comes to peanut butter, qualify it well. Get organic peanut butter. Again, ingredients are just peanuts, peanut oil probably, and salt, or just peanuts and salt. You want to skip some of the commercial brands that use palm oil and other really bad oils to give it that creamy texture. You definitely want one that you can stir. We want to keep these as elevated as possible in terms of nutrients and in terms of clean ingredients.
Awesome. We also need a little bit of maple syrup, so if I may ask you to grab me some maple syrup. Beautifully done. Thank you so much. All right, it's looking for a 1/4 cup of maple syrup, so we're going to go just use the same 1/4 cup measure that we had just used. Some delicious maple syrup. Again, not too sweet, not too sugary, just enough to keep the energy flowing in the best way possible. I'm going to put that right over here. And all we're going to do is mix. Now, I am resisting the temptation to use my hands as I mix this because I mix a lot of doughs by hand. So I'm just going to do this and resist that urge. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's good. Yep. So I can stir. This is fun. Look at that. I'm looking at the camera while I'm stirring and making energy bites all at the same time.
Wow.
And not getting burnout while I'm doing it.
Very
This is a wonderful thing. Thank you. Thank you. I very much appreciate that.
I appreciate what you said earlier, Julia, about using this before you run. Because either of these recipes, these bites, could be used in lots of ways. They could be used as a quick afternoon snack around 3 o'clock if you're getting a slump. It can be used pre-workout or post-workout. As really good sources of carbohydrate, protein. So you've got balanced energy. You've also got healthy fats, protein, super blood sugar stabilizing. And that's one of the ways to mitigate burnout for sure, is you skip meals, you're super hungry. You go to the snack room at work, what are you going to grab? You're going to grab a donut or something that brings you way up. Whereas something like this is going to stabilize your energy. And the last thing you want is to be super stressed and then take in these large doses of sugar. That definitely can contribute to a crash that is going to compound your burnout.
Right, and you really don't want to go back into work as the cranky coworker. That's no fun.
Nobody likes a hangry coworker.
Nobody likes a hangry coworker, but you know what I do love? I love this.
Oh, that looks amazing.
I'm all about it. I might just eat that as it is. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to roll these into our bites, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
All right, Coach Kristen. So because of excellent handiwork, we have a whole plate of energy here, which I'm super excited about. Now, one of the things that I wanted to address is in my realm of career consultation, essentially. I have seen again and again over the years, in my experiences in leadership, in my experiences in mentorship, in my experiences of just being a part of the work world, burnout is very, very common. And one of the things that I used to always tell the people that I was working with is to give yourself permission to be okay. So I wanted to bring up some strategies on how to avoid burnout. For me, I'm going to think about how to avoid burnout in the workplace, but also in the job search. So a lot of people these days are thinking about, what do I want to do with my life? What do I want to be when I grow up? I hear that often. I think we all say that. I still say that.
Absolutely.
So when we are in our career search or in our life search, sometimes it can get very frustrating. Especially if you're looking for a job, sometimes it can even feel exhausting or demoralizing because you want to wonder, well, what's wrong with me? I will tell you the truth is nothing is wrong with you. But if you don't have the right strategies in place in order to mitigate this burnout, you're going to burn out way much faster. So the 3 strategies that I have today for you are to, number 1, take a break. And a break for whatever it means for you. If you happen to be at work and you need to stretch, get up, go, and take a stretch. It's absolutely fine. Take care of yourself in the way that you feel that you need to take care of yourself. That's absolutely okay to do. Because if you are burnt out, everybody else around you can be burnt out, and you're not bringing your best self to the table. And that's what we want you to do. My second strategy would be to eat really good energizing foods like these empowering energy bites, because they're going to keep you, again, full, focused, and ready to take on any tasks that you happen to have. My third strategy is one of the most important, which is to give yourself grace. Whether you're currently in a role or whether you're looking for a new role, or even if you're looking to move up within your organization, the most important thing is to give yourself grace. Again, realize that this is a path, this is a journey, and not every point along the way is going to be an easy one. So if you give yourself the grace and the space to be okay, to take care of yourself, to understand that you're feeling relaxed and ready to take on whatever tasks you're looking for, those are going to be the most important strategies for you. So what do you think, Coach Kristen?
I like that. I love it. You know, and in my work, Julia, what I find is what works well with that is at the same time, a lot of women are experiencing a lot of physiological changes. At the same time, we're experiencing changes at work. So that self-care becomes important not only for functioning in your work, but also how your body functions. You might be experiencing hypothyroid or any number of things. So this self-care is critical when it comes to, energy, ability to think clearly. And ultimately, when you have that, that's what spreads. You said if one person's burned out, chances are others are burned out.
Yeah.
So why not be that example of she's doing something to manage that really, really well. Food's important, as you mentioned. Food is a very constant, steady source of energy. So if you skip your food, you're losing opportunity to have energy. And on those break days, whether it's taking a day off, whether it's taking a little space for yourself, your sleep is crucial. Those periods of rest are crucial. So that's when your body takes a little bit of time to restore and energize. So I think everything that you said, and make some plans for it. Just do it.
Nice.
Give it a shot. Start with some empowering energy bites. That's what we're going to do.
I'm doing it. I'm excited.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, my friend. All right. That's it. I'm going to run on the floor.